Welcome back to another day here at Area Diesel Service. We got a first-time collaboration with a YouTube content creator named Jesse Muller. I checked out his channel a little bit just to see what he was all about.
But you know, just getting these freed up so that they could turn over and start on starting fluid, that's a good start. At least I know that they have compression and that there isn't some bad rod knock or something like that. Basically, that's all I know at the moment.
And he honestly reminds me a lot of Matt over at Diesel Creek, which we've done plenty of videos for Matt here. Good friend of ours. I'm kind of excited to see how this relationship builds with Jesse Muller. He got us 2 pumps here, which I'm going to unbox here shortly. Both of them have issues. One of them's off of one machine, one of them's off another, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what we got going on. Ciao. My box cutting skills are not as good as Kurt's.
All right, yeah, I'll be right up. I gotta do it. Yeah, all right. What are you guys doing?
I thought you were gone, so I decided to take over.
Okay.
It's fine, we got it. Yikes. Two pumps here. Let's see if I can shoot it. Nailed it. Looks like here a DB2 and a DB4, both Stanadyne pumps. And one good indicative of this is DB2s have a kind of like a honeycomb mounting flange, where DB4s have a solid mounting flange. Easiest way for me to tell. Anyways, from what I understand and from what I've looked up, we'll start with this DB2 here. DB2 is off of a 4276D John Deere engine. So that engine can go on multitude of different things. It is a 4-cylinder, 4.5 liter, or 275 cubic inch engine. It is in the range of 80 to 85 horsepower and around 200-ish foot-pounds of torque. The shaft spins, but pump no spin. And I bet you, pull this out, yep, see there? She is clean. This one here has a problem, and you can tell it has a serious case of the schmoo. DB2s, again, 2 pumping plungers, 2 rollers. This is a 435, so 4-cylinder, 350 thousandths plungers, and the last 4 digits is a 4477, which is just the parts breakdown. Has 2 fittings in here. That one there looks like it was kind of jammed in there because I've never quite seen it like that. But overall, pretty simple pumps. It's a mechanical Vance. It's not a light load, so that makes it easier to work on, but it's definitely going to be a job because we're going to have to find a head and rotor for it and new drive shaft, clean out all the crud. Probably going to need new cam, new rollers, but we will see what happens once I tear into it. Okay, second pump we got here, DB4. This is a DB4 427-4994. Again, DB4 meaning 4 plungers, 4 rollers. It is a 4-cylinder, 270 thousandths plunger, and then the 4994 is just the bill of materials for it. This one here also has what I believe to be significant issues. Definitely has some crud here in the outlets, so I imagine the rest of the pump looks like that. Got the drive nut on here. His key is messed up here, and I can't turn it. So most likely this one here is going to be seized as well. Maybe if we're lucky it's just gunked up and it's not seized, but we'll figure that out. This one is on a John Deere 4045 DT004 engine, which is very similar to the fact that it's a 4-cylinder, 4.5 liter diesel engine. This one here has a turbocharger where the other one is naturally aspirated. Very similar. This one here is just making a little bit more horsepower and a little bit more torque. Overall, again, very simple pump. Has a mechanical Vance, not a light loaded Vance, so they're a little simpler to work on. but I imagine that I will have to deal with quite a few issues with this one as well. We'll dive into it, see what kind of problems we have, see how much it's going to cost, and see what maybe he wants to do. Hopefully, once this gets all done, you'll see the final product on his end, and they'll be up and running machines. So I'm going to go back, take these back there, and start diving into them. Okay, now we're going to work on this DB4. You got to peel that little cap off there. This is just a tamper-proof cap so you don't mess up the torque screw. But, of course, we always get rid of those. I'll just do this while I got this sucker in hand. A lot of this stuff doesn't really matter what order you take it out in. There's a few things that you have to do with it in a specific order. What did I do with my pick? Spin. I said I don't know if this one is going to be seized or not. I'm assuming it is, but normally whenever they seize, they break the rotor. But since this one presumably isn't broke, since I can't turn the drive shaft, I don't know if it's actually seized or not. Yeah, okay. Fine. I'm still slightly concerned. Might be a 3/8. Yep. We are going to see if I can get it out with this. Oh yeah. Governor spring is rusty. Probably won't be able to use that. Hearing valve. It doesn't look terrible. Needs cleaned up, obviously, but it's just a little locking plate so the income don't turn. Even that wasn't super tight. See, there's water in that. So that's fuel, and then that's water right there. Spring there ain't the best. Piston ain't the best. Which I replace that piston almost always anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. on to the bottom half. It's just an adjusting screw, adjust your advance. And there's even some grease on that still. Yeah, you can see how much more water is inside there. But I mean that thing there is beautiful. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. Yeah, there's still grease. A little bit of grease on that still too. So I don't think this thing has a ton of hours on it, to be honest. I doubt I can grab onto it with these. Huh? I'll be dang. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. A little bit of rust on that, but nothing crazy. I'm assuming, though, that this is going to be seized. Especially since I'm not seeing a ton of buildup. But sometimes if there's a ton of buildup here, like the transfer pressure end, it'll lock it up. And you can get them unstuck, but I don't know about this one. Okay, pop that nut off there. We'll see if I can get this head out. And the keyway being like that is from them not lining it up with the keyway and the gear. And they just drove it on there, and that's why it's like that. And I bet you that's why it's seized, or the head, because there was so much force on that then it just carried through. And any little bit of side thrust in that will seize them. There we go. Popped right out. Well, kinda. There we go. Yeah, it's a little rusty. Snap ring pliers. Yeah, that shaft really ain't too bad. So yeah, this thing does not have very many hours on it. But unfortunately, with it having them rust spots on there, I don't know if I'll reuse it. Which we have our Rayman shafts, so that's not that big of a deal. But still, would have saved him a little bit of money. Taking the half moon plates out. Okay, well, I'm going to see what happens in the press, and we'll see if it comes out or not easily. This is where the hard part comes. Negative. Yeah, did we use the puller from down there? Yeah. Okay, so we're going to hold off on trying to get this thing apart. We're going to grab another tool from one of the other buildings. But we do not have a core for this one. So his only option is going to be a brand new head, which are expensive. I think end user cost was like $1,400. So that's kind of where we're at with that. But I'm going to throw all this stuff in the Sonic cleaner just to see if it'll clean up any. It might or might not since it's rust. But that's kind of where I'm at. So, and then I'll just clean up this housing best I can. But that's just how it is sometimes. Not every pump is perfect. I got the head apart. So right here, it just barely seized. But it was just enough to cause it to quit. The housing, I think, looks pretty decent. I'm not really worried about all that scaling in there. It's just cosmetic. Yeah, so that thing there's ready to go. Basically, all that's junk. That there is junk. That spring there is junk. I should have some of those. A lot of these parts, I believe I tested that and that was okay. Lay my parts out here so that way that I could clean up. These weights are junk. I got a bajillion of them though. This here actually don't look too bad. I might replace that. I got tons of those as well. That's good. Some of the parts look great, and other parts of it, it's like, man, that looks good. That there is junk. Supply pump liner. Weights are junk. Metering valve still looks good. I'll replace that as well. I got tons of those. Drive shaft nut. We'll set that there for now. That can be cleaned up. There's junk, that'll be cleaned up. Yeah, there's junk. Well, that little idle spring looks good. That's good, 'cause that's a more uncommon one right there. I'd say I maybe only see that maybe, I don't know, 10 times a year. There we go, there's a spacer. Another advanced spring. Adjuster, torque screw, full idle screw, top cover bolts, nameplate. Spring there ain't the best. This thing here might be okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. Yep, I can see light through it, so that'll work. Clip looks good. Little solenoid parts. That basket there is empty. Set that there for now. I need to take that screw out there. Okay, so thrust washer, spring, weights, a couple other springs. What springs do I need here? Got me a drive shaft. 20922s. Should have some of those. And this spring is a 19855. Should have some of those as well. Okay. Two, three, four, five, six. Perfect. Got plenty of that. Let's see if I can find a spring. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I'll test both of these to make sure I got the right one. Spring. There we go. Okay. Might have to try and order one of those springs. Let me check it on my other drawers. That ain't it. That ain't it. That's it. $7.50. Nope, that is not the right spring. I've got to have one of these springs. That's it right there. Yeah, that there's definitely not it. That's it right there. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright, we're gonna make that. Those go on there. Got a governor spring, transfer pressure spring. Yeah, that spring there is junk. We'll buff these two, and we'll buff this one out there. Yeah, that up there will be fine. Roll away, or did I put it back? Oh well, I got that one right there. Okay, so we've mostly got everything now. This here's a brand new head. Nice and shiny. Beautiful. I'll have to put, I have a weight cage laying around here somewhere. there it is. Gotta put that on it, since that one there is junk. Reman pan. So we will put our new seals in here now. I had trouble with these seals wanting to push out on their own, so I put a little bit of Loctite in here just to maybe help prevent it. Leave that in there, grab this. Steel one goes in first. And the rubber one. That there's done. Got this on here. This here is one of our reman drive shafts, so we basically cut this down and put a sleeve over it. So that's where that seal wears that out. So there we go. Now it'll go through these seals without worrying about it rolling or something. Maybe there it went. Still takes a little bit of effort. It's been a little while since I built the DB4. Have to think about what I'm doing. Okay, that looks good. So that was the thrust bearing. Now we got the thrust washer. And then we have a spring washer. Then we'll have our clip. That is in there now. Let me clean this up a little bit. Blast it real quick. One thing I hate is leaving like rust or anything inside the pumps, because then if for some reason they ever come back, you don't know if it's new rust or old rust, and it's just not good to leave that stuff in there anyway. Try and give people the best quality I can give. Slide that in there, slide our pivot shaft in through there. Come on. There it went. It's fine. So, since I have this, I don't know why they put these clips back on here, but because new ones come in the kit anyway. Stick that on there. Now we will. Does this thing take a timing mark? Yes, it does. So we got to do that first. Those look fine. So before we stick the weight cage on, I need to put a timing mark on this. Do that around 133.5. I think that looks good. There we go. Double check for accuracy. We're within. Yeah. We're in spec. Perfect. Now we can put the weight cage on. Stay. Got me some new cushions. These cushions are on all DB4s, and generally I don't replace them because generally they don't go bad, but every once in a while, one of my situations like this where I have to change the weight cage, then I change out the cushions because I might as well. Yeah, we put the solid plates on. Then we will put the clips on. All those are free. The leaf springs off the old head. That's good enough for right now. New delivery valve. Put some calibration fluid on it. And on there, then the spring. Put the stop. Come on, cooperate. There we go, I got it. Torque that in. Got our brand new rollers. We got some shoes over here. It's a little snug. That's better. Gotta make sure that all these are free. Set this up. Just a little bit of fluid on that. We'll check to make sure that this thing don't leak. Doesn't matter which one of these I hook this to. Air up to it. There we go. So my plungers have popped out. I see no leaks around the stop. Perfect. Slide that off. Now I gotta set it in here and set my centrality. And set my roller, which I need 958. That one's way high. Gotta be something wrong with that shoe there. Says it's a -5, but for some reason it was way out of whack. That's a little better. Yeah, of course I don't have my micrometer in here, naturally. .56, that's pretty close. Let's see if I can't use that shoe out. Different one and see if that'll bring it in. Oh yeah, perfect. Perfect. 58. 5.5. 60.5. I still need to go up a little bit more. I'm gonna leave it right there and hope for the best. That should be okay since it's a brand new head. Got the head set. Now I can start finally putting stuff back together. Okay, so that's good. I got my camera here. Make sure it's direction rotation. It's clockwise. Put that on there like that. Give it a little juice. And you put my mounting O-ring and my head O-ring on this. That spins good. Double check my rotation. That looks good. Our in-cone O-ring. A little grease. We have our rotor retainers, which are still in good shape. I don't normally replace them very often. Every great once in a while I will. We need our liner and blades. Got our liner here, which it looks good. One set of blades. Two sets of blades. Calibration fluid in there. This is our transfer pressure regulator. I need my O-ring for the bottom of it, which is somewhere here in this box. There it is. That looks good. Need our piston, our spring, adjusting screw, a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Put that on there. Inlet screen, then the end cone. A little bit of grease on the bottom so it doesn't bind up that O-ring. Snug for right now. We'll torque it later. Yeah, okay, leave it right there for now. Now we gotta put in our weights. Governor weights, thrust sleeve, thrust washer. Make sure all these are in there correctly. That all looks good. That's at the top. Now we get to put it in the pump. That is to the top. Just got to double check everything. There we go. Has short bushings, so I can put these in here. If it has long bushings here, sometimes you have to put the metering valve in first before you can put your head bolts in, otherwise you can't get it to fit in there. Yeah, this metering valve looks fine. There ain't nothing wrong with it. That's nice and free. Got our vent screw. It'll go in since I'm right here. It's in there. Flip this around. Got our head bolt, which this one does not have a check ball on the inside, which is fine. Some do and some don't. This one just has a filter on the inside of it. Now, there we go. Now I gotta torque some of this stuff in. That's torqued. Head bolts are torqued. Now the end cone. Okay. I will work on the advance here. So, find my O-ring. Make sure this O-ring isn't rolled. That's good now. In here. Just gonna try and get it with my fingers. If not, then I'll walk to my room. Sometimes I can get them. Come on, you're almost there. There we go. Got our O-rings. That's not the right O-ring. This is, though. That's the right O-ring for this one. I need a big O-ring for the bottom of this. There we go. Put a little bit of grease on there. Now I can install it in the which I'm gonna need. Might be a 3/4. Actually, I think it's 11/16. Yep. Technically, I have a tool for this, but I don't have it in here with me. And this works just as well for putting them in. There we go. I feel like you guys will be able to see a little bit better now. Got my cam pin in. It's weird how that's black. I don't think I've ever seen black one of those. Normally they're red. My little adjuster piece. That's what the springs sit on. And we got our bottom plug. That's nice and tight. And then we got our governor spring and our low idle capsule there. And then we'll do the torque screw. Break it loose and get the O-ring out of it first. Now the throttle lever. We're getting real close to being done, which is good because it's close to lunchtime. I got it. This goes on the right side. Okay, have a clip right here. Bring it down just a scotch. Okay. That's good. So here's a low idle screw, which it goes here in the top cover. Some, not actually not very many DB4s have a low idle screw in the top cover. If they do, generally they have a mechanical advance. Our top cover O-ring in here. That looks good. Wash underneath here. Top cover bolts, which they are just normal T25s on this one. Last thing is our return connector. And voila! That DB4 is built. I said I'll worry about tightening that cap down later. Still need to stamp my serial number in it, but that can wait till later too. But for right now, that pump is built. DB2 is off of a 4276D John Deere engine. Okay everybody, got the DB2 right here, got it blasted off. So we're going to get after it. I'll just pull this drive shaft out. That there makes me nervous. We'll see how bad this thing is actually going to be. So this looks more like rust rather than like biodiesel. This is just a shut-off wire, but I'll probably send it back to him. I probably won't put it back on the pump. So I imagine he'll do something different. How hard is it going to be to get this fitting out? Jesus. It's enough freaking pipe thread. Well, the problem is too, is this is pipe, this is an 1/8 inch pipe where that is a machine thread. So that will not be going back in that hole. So it looks like this top cover was already kind of loose. I don't know if he tried to mess with it any. Yikes. Look at all that rust inside there. This honestly, this one here might be one of the few pumps that I will make the determination on that it's just not worth it. I'll dig into it a little bit more, but with the amount of rust that's in there, it might just be better for us to use one of our cores, rebuild him a totally different pump, because this thing here is just junk, man. Which is kind of it's a first for the YouTube round, but definitely not a first for me. It doesn't happen very often. Most pumps I can fix, but every once in a while you get one like this where it's really just not cost effective to try and rebuild it. Got it. Yeah. Probably not going to take any of the O-rings off right now, just to save a little bit of time. I don't know where he got this machine from, but obviously he either had a hole in the tank that was open or something. Tyler put something on my door out there. I don't even want to know. Jeez. You should have put the master at work.
Oh, sorry.
Come on now. Man, this thing here is so bad. Yikes. Might not even really be worth it for me to tear this thing apart. Well, I got the mirror valve to move. That's good. That's a start. I mean, even right there you can see there's water in it. Yikes. Of course, nothing can ever be easy. Trying to get my bit out of here. That's what I'm trying to do. There we go. There we go. I mean, that thing there is packed full of rust. Oh, yikes. Oh no, never mind. I thought that was broke off, but it's not. I might mess with that plug later. Rusty. Rusty, rusty, rusty. And even that spring there, I mean, that thing there is just junk. Because once that rust eats into them springs, you can't use them. I'm sure I'll probably never get that piston out of there. Nope. Oh, got to move. I might be able to get it now. Very carefully try. Oh yeah. Okay. Get the end cone off. Once I get the head out, then I'll really be able to tell if I can use it or not. Rusty, rusty, rusty. That thing there's garbage. Garbage. I mean, we already know the head is junk because it's seized, so I don't really got to worry about that. But I'd still like to get this head out. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it regardless. Nope. Now, what to do? There's the end of the drive shaft. I might be able to stick this drive shaft in there. Yep. I'll do that. Probably really wouldn't recommend this at home, but most likely I won't be using this thing, and this just is going to be here to kind of hold it. There we go, it's moving. My wrench almost fell. It's moving. As far as I got. Hopefully you guys captured that. You could see. It's kind of hard for me to tell where I'm pointing at with this thing. Come on. Oh, ow. That cam there's toast. Yeah, that thing there's toast. All over junk. I mean, at least the housing's good, so I could reuse that on something else, but it's about the only thing that's good out of that pump. As you can see, the whole pile of rust I got there. Okay, we are going to set this one off to the side. I'm probably going to have to tear down the core. Got my core here. It's just one we had in the shop. It is very, very close to what his core originally was. I shouldn't actually have to change a whole lot. Shouldn't have to replace a whole lot from this one to that one. I think it's just that advanced spring that's different. So anyways, I'm going to get this ripped apart here, and hopefully it is in better shape. I mean, the fact that it spins is already a positive sign, and it's not seized. So we're at least somewhere better than what we were. Thought those bolts were going to break off there for a minute. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little gummed up, but that there will clean up fine. Don't quite know how I feel about this head mount yet. It's going to take some getting used to. Feels like I have a weight strapped to my noggin. Ooh. Aside for now. Huh. There's no clip in here. Interesting. I also don't really care for how tight this feels. Let me see. Oh, housing looks straight. Doesn't look bent. It was apparently just held in there by hopes and dreams. I'm wondering if I'll find that clip somewhere in there. Sometimes they do pop off. Not very often though. No, that's what I figured would happen. Thing there was tight. And another difference between this core and his original pump is that this one, the drive shaft is held in from the inside, which doesn't really make any difference to me. It's not the right drive shaft anyway, so I got plenty of the ones that were in that core there, so that's not really that big of a problem. It's just something I'll have to change later. Well, it came right off. I mean, that thing there is nice and clean. Definitely better in contrast to his pump. This pick is really sharp and pointy, so I'm trying to avoid stabbing myself with it because it will hurt. Might be sticking up enough for me to grab it. Ha. Now let's see if I can get that key out. I don't think it's going to come out of there. These DB2s are being tough today. Oh, there's that clip. So yeah, either that clip popped off on its own. There we go. Now I don't know if that's going to be enough. Yeah, see, all those look good. They got just a little haze on them, but Sonic Cleaner will take all that off, no problem. Now, oh man, I got lucky on that. Normally those things there are a monster to get out. Yep. Push that pout tube out later. So probably, yeah, those housings are the same. Yep, they're identical, so I'll probably just use that one. That's actually an updated housing, so this, his original one, you can see the torque screw goes here, which I think was just a plug. It was a plug on both of them. But this is an updated housing that has a torque screw at an angle instead of being flat. It works the same on both, but it's just a different design. Other than that, they're identical. So that's not really a problem. Pop that off. Cam looks good. Pretty sure it's the right cam. Yeah, 21687. Rollers look good. The rotor actually looks really good. There's almost no wear to this thing. Looks good. Come on. There we go. Sheesh. Didn't really expect that to be such a pain to get out. Which, I mean, that thing there is worn out, which is nothing unusual. So now I just gotta take this off. Okay. So that's still good in good shape. So yeah, I wish I would have started out with that one instead of that thing. Okay, well, I'm going to go throw this out there in the Sonic Cleaner, clean that up, but other than that, that'll be it for now. And I'll clean everything up, and core looks good. Be a lot easier to build this thing. Ready to build this DB2. Think I'll be able to run them both today, this afternoon. I think he's getting done with his last pump now, so we'll see what this housing looks like. Housing looks good. Which, remember, this is the core that I tore down since the original pump was junk. which this core actually looks really good. There's my pilot tube. See if it fits. Sometimes they can be a little snug, which this one is. Yeah. Okay. We'll fix this. I don't want it to be completely loose, just to where I can actually get it in. Yeah, okay, that'll be good enough. I'll get it one way or another. Put this in so I can be setting up while we're laying out the parts and everything. I have to go out to the arbor press. Okay, now that's in. It's set to the right depth because of this tool, so we'll just set that up there for now. Head from our core, which it looks really good. Cam ring. Lever. Cone. Weight cage looks good. It has a timing mark right there. I don't know what my timing mark needs to be. 133. I think that's gonna be close, but we'll check that here in a minute. Drive shaft. At least this core here was clean, because having to clean up all those parts gets old real quick. Well, it just takes up so much time. Can live with that. That one there is nice and free. Thrust washer, cam screw, snap ring, clip, plungers, metering valve looks good, little idle screw, top cover bolt, adjuster, side cover. That looks good. Take that off here in a minute. Head bolts, top cover bolt, piston ring. Side cover bolts look good. That thing there needs buffed, but I can do that. Bent screw is good. I can see light through it. My solenoid washers. Got my pick. It's a brand new delivery valve like normal. Got our new blades. A new return connector. And a brand new gasket kit. Okay, let's see, what do I need to buff? I definitely need to buff that, and buff this. Messing with stuff, I'll check the timing mark on this. So I need 133 and I'm at 133 and a half. So that is perfectly fine. I just want to go over that because that line is not very prominent. That's better. Now we can actually see it. Yep, perfect. Okay, we will set this head while we are waiting for the epoxy to dry. Spray some juice on this. Got it. Torque this in. Perfect. Since this is the core, let me check these outlets. That one's not terrible. Yeah, I can live with all those. Those look fine. Plungers are nice and free. That roller and shoe is free. That roller and shoe is free. Stick our adapter on here. Ooh, right in the grease. Every time. Air hose. Plungers are stuck out. And I see no leaks at all. No air bubbles. So that's good. That means our stop is sealed. Now, what is my roller? 1.965. It's 52. So this core was definitely lower. No, that's a 1. Might have to change out the sleeve spring. So don't act like I got enough travel. Okay, so that is basically, that is maxed out. Let's see how much I got. 75, no. Yeah, let me switch out this leaf spring because it's just not enough travel. Sometimes you gotta do that. You gotta switch it out to a bigger one. Because the one thing I hate the most is getting on the stand and not being able to get enough fuel out of it because my leaf spring bottoms out. So, let's see if we can find a number 2. Those are zeros. Says it's a 2. There we go. I like these ones better. Okay, now let's try that. That's perfect right there. Play with it on the stand if I need to. Okay, so the head is set. Check my rotation. It is clockwise. Set the head on there, or the cam on there. Line up my lines. Snap ring. Snap rings down. Flip it over. Got my end cone O-ring. Got my rotor retainers and the ring. Transfer pump liner goes in there. Got one set of blades. Got my other set of blades. The calibration fluid in there. Our regulator is just like the one in the DB4. It needs our little square O-ring. Fit it down in there. Got me a new transfer pressure piston. Got my spring. The adjusting screw. Leave that there for now. Got my inlet screen. And I got my end cone. Put a little bit of grease on the bottom. Line all this up. Oh, that's good. This should be dry. This one goes together a little different because the drive shaft is not retained on the inside. So this will go in first. Got my O-rings. That's good. Check my hole, that's open. A little bit of grease on the inside here. Grab my head. This one I gotta be a little bit more careful so that I don't have a drive shaft. If you go too far, that O-ring will pop out and you could rip it. So sometimes you just gotta watch what you're doing. Sticking my dummy shaft in here just for the time being. Yeah, that's good enough. This one has a check ball in the bottom of the head screw, so gotta make sure it's free. Stick my O-rings on here. This gets torqued down. That's good. Same process as the last pump. Torque these down. We'll torque that income down. Yeah, okay. That's good to go. Now, the last thing I got torqued down is my cam screw here, which I need a bit for. Torque this down. Okay. It's nice and free. Now we can start putting our advance together. We're burning right through this pump. There it is. Brought my wrench on this one. It really makes a big difference whenever the parts are clean, and I can just kind of burn right through it. With a pump like this, you know, if it's clean, I can build it in about 45 minutes. Do the governor here. My spring ran away. This one does not have a torque screw, it just has this plug, which is fine. I don't know if the original pump Oh yeah, the original one had the old style housing. I think it just had a plug as well. Oh well. Sometimes I can even tell on the breakdown. No, I would imagine it's probably gonna need a torque screw. Does it call for one? No. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Right now it's just getting this plug. Throttle lever goes on the right side. Tap the clip down. Voila. Got that in, so now we'll do the top cover and then we will be ready to run. Nut's a little stuck. New return connector, and I still got my stamps in here. Perfect. Just like that, we are ready to run. At least I hope so. Yep. Beautiful. Now, let's see here. Which one of these do I want to run first? This one take. Say 3 point. Okay. We'll take the same lines and injectors, so I'll just stick with this one then. There. Just so the weights don't fall out. I slowly add a little bit more to this room as I go. So I'm going to get this all set up in there. I think I might change camera angles here, so I will meet you guys back up in there. Okay, so we got a nice little voiceover here because our technology is technology, and you know how technology works and never likes to work. So, got this pump here on the stand. This is, can't tell which one. this is, whether it's the DB2 or the DB4, as they look almost identical from the front. I'm assuming this is the DB2, but I don't know that. Anyways, getting ready to start this thing up. So pump starts spinning. Got to increase my speed. So that way transfer pressure will build inside the pump will start pumping. Got my test plan. Got to go through, check all the specs. Make sure advanced gauge is up, set correctly, because it does like to bounce out of the groove. And make sure it's zeroed out. Generally, I start with my transfer pressure first. Just checked it there. It's the gauge right at my waist there at the bottom of the stand. You can see it kind of moving. It's probably either, I believe it was too high. We'll see once I put my adjuster in there. Yep, it's too high. I'm backing it back out to lower the transfer pressure. Normally it doesn't take a whole lot. Got to adjust it again. Sometimes you can get lucky and only have to adjust it once, but other times you got to tweak it. As you can see, the advanced gauge moves according to basically transfer pressure. So the more transfer pressure you get, the more it's going to move. And the more RPMs you have, the more transfer pressure you're going to make. So I'm checking my fuel. Which I believe it was like maybe 5% over, which is where I generally like to keep my pumps at, between 5 and 10%. Go down, check cranking. Must be checking something else. I think I was going to set my advance. Yep. So as I screw that in and out, you can see that advanced gauge move. Luckily, this style advance is really easy to adjust. You just have the one adjusting screw. You either screw it in for less or screw it out for more. Do a double check just to make sure for accuracy. Setting my high idle. Checking the shut off. So I just unhook the power cable to the solenoid. Just has to be under 4 cc's of delivery, which most time they are. Okay, now I'm going now to check cranking. Also have a transfer pressure check at cranking to make sure that you're at least making enough to where it'll push out your pumping plungers. I do believe this is a DB2 because that looks like the used head, so that was our core that we had. It wasn't the DB4 with the new head. Okay, now I'm setting my high idle. So I'm adjusting the high idle screw. Right now I'm making slow adjustments to where it'll just get in the spec and they'll slow it down and speed it back up to check for accuracy. And really, the only other thing that you have to worry about at your high idle is to make sure that it's a steady delivery. It's not moving up and down, which would indicate a surge, or to make sure that it's fairly balanced so that way it won't seem like a miss almost, or it'll run erratically. Most time, it's not really too much of an issue. Check our shutoff again at high speed. Sometimes if the head is a little bit worn out, it won't shut off as well at high speed because there's more transfer pressure trying to go around the metering valve. Now all I should have left should be the low idle. Yep, so I take my band off the throttle lever. And this one has, let's see here. So this one has the low idle screw in the top cover, not on the lever. The screw on the backside of the throttle lever is more of a stop screw, which generally you set around this same time. Just double checking my low idle. And that is it for this pump. Overall, didn't have too much issues with it. Had to make just some minor adjustments. But overall, everything worked pretty normally, to be honest. Generally speaking, I don't have to make a ton of adjustments, but every once in a while you'll have a problem pump. Man, if only I knew what I was saying at this point. I just need like 3 recording devices so that way I never have to do a voiceover. I'm pretty sure this is a DB4, just by the housing. I believe both the DB2 and the DB4 use the same lines and injectors. So luckily I didn't have to switch them out in between tests. Generally, that's what we like to try and do is if we have multiple customer pumps in, we like to kind of not only build them as they've came in, but also we might build 2 or 3 and kind of organize them in groups of which take what lines and injectors, so that way we can be more efficient with how we run our pumps, so that we can get the most out of our day. Because if we're constantly have to change the lines and injectors, guaranteed it doesn't take that long, but 10 minutes here and 10 minutes there, adds up over the course of a day. So this pump here is pumping just fine. Gonna let it probably warm up now for a few minutes, just to make sure the head gets hot. So now we're back in. Gonna start going through the tests. Both tests took roughly the same amount of time, so speed it up and check my transfer pressure. I think I just kind of preset my advance here. To get it halfway close. Normally, if you have your advance at least close, it won't affect your fuel delivery. Every once in a while, you'll have one that if it's way out of whack, it'll change your fuel delivery once you kind of get it back in the spec. So that's why I like to have it preset a little bit. Once again, I believe that my fuel delivery was right in spec where I like it to be. Checking the shutoff solenoid. Going down, checking cranking. Which, if this is the DB4, it had a brand new head in it, so shouldn't really be too much of an issue. We have had new heads that are kind of weak, so you still have to check them. It's time to set the high idle. Luckily, both these pumps were very similar to each other, so the process of testing them was very similar as well. There's no white load or target settings or anything like that, so these were very simple pumps in the grand scheme of things. And just gotta make sure that my delivery is consistent. Whether or not you have to make several adjustments is whatever. You just gotta do whatever is necessary to make sure that it's in spec and it's making a reliable delivery. Because your high idle is going to affect your total RPMs on the engine, so you like it to be as accurate as you can get. Now go slow it down and check our full load setting. You always check your full load after you set your high idle, because sometimes if your governor spring is too stiff, it will affect your full load. It'll come back really sluggish and you won't be making as much fuel delivery as what you need. So now I'm making too much, so I'm turning in my torque screw to lower my fuel delivery to get it into spec. Check our high-speed shutoff. Definitely know this is the DB4 because I was just checking to make sure it wasn't leaking out the weep hole. So now I'm checking my low idle. Again, this had the low idle, I believe, in the top cover. Nope. Had the low idle on the lever. I think. It might just be changing the throttle stop. Yeah, definitely has low idle on the top cover. I can see it. So basically, I'm setting the throttle stop because you want it to be halfway close. So that way it works the best on the engine. Now, since that's set, I can set the low idle screw in the top cover to get my fuel delivery into spec. Again, double check for accuracy. So now everything is in spec and the test is done. Again, had to do a little less adjusting on this one compared to the other one, but overall it's still a pretty average test. Normally, if everything runs good, I can run them in about 10 minutes after they've warmed up. So generally it doesn't take me too long to run them, especially with having very few issues. You know, this one having a new head always helps prevent some fuel related issues. And the other one being the DB2, you know, we tore down a core and it was a fairly decent core as well. So a lot better than his original cores. Pull the pump off and time it, and you will see me back up at the front counter. Back up here at the front counter, I got both the pumps here. They all look nice and pretty, a lot better than what they were whenever they came in. That's all good to go now. Got their DB2, DB4, and as you could tell, they were a mess. DB2, absolute junk, pile of garbage, can't be saved. DB4 had some issues, head and rotor was seized, got a new one ordered, threw it in there, good to go. But luckily, we had a core for this one. Fortunately, we didn't have one for this one, so that was part of the deal with the new head. But it just is what it is sometimes. We don't have every core. We have a lot, but we don't have it all. These, instead of on their actual specified applications, are both on telehandlers, which for my sake didn't really change a whole lot. It just goes to show, for me, I get these pumps in and I go, okay, this is on a 450 John Deere. It's like, well, no, actually, someone previously had pulled this pump off and threw it on a different engine. It's just one of the things I got to deal with. And now we can get down to what these things actually cost. So for the DB2, normal parts, plus a core and labor, we were at $1,250 roughly on this guy here. So a little bit more than normal, but still not really out of the realm of possibilities. DB4 here costs a little bit more, brand new head, so that is a significant price increase over just a normal rebuild. So DB4 normal parts other than the head, right around $2,000. So you can see that having to pay for these new high dollar components can increase your costs significantly. With Jesse being a new collaborator, it's always good that we have these new people coming into the game here. We're always willing and able to help people out and get their pumps back up in order. Of course, got turbos and injectors as well. Luckily, he just had pumps, so I only had to do all the work, not anyone else. But we got our pause button here, give these out to all of our collaborators that we've dealt with. It's always nice to work with other people, other content creators. We've given out several of them so far already, so that's always good. Helps bring the process of what we go through here to the bigger audience. That way people can see what we have to do on a normal basis. Man, this guy, he just won't leave me alone. I'm trying to work up here. He's judging me. Anyways, it's always nice to let you guys see the process and see kind of what we do on a daily basis. It's always nice for me to be able to show what I've learned over the years. And of course, there's still a lot more that you guys haven't seen, but there's always another day for that. These pumps here should be able to be thrown right back on. Hopefully he'll clean out his fuel system so it won't be as much rust in there. That's on his end. Hopefully he'll be able to throw these back on and he'll get these telehandlers running and we'll be back up in business. If you guys ever need any pump injector or turbo work, you can always call us at 1-800-637-2658 is our 1-800 number, or there's aeriediesel.com, and there's also a chat part of that website that you can contact us through there if you don't feel like calling. So anything diesel related, hit us up. We're always willing to help. Also, before we wrap this up, tell us what you think of the head mount cam and see whether you like that better or my other setups. Just that way we can create the best content out there. So you guys have a nice day.